Hello and welcome to the Let's Talk Spirituality podcast. This is Time for Talking, or Emeris from timefortalking.com, spiritual mentoring for your body, mind and soul. I'm your host on this show. In this podcast, you'll receive insights on all topics spirituality inspired from above for spiritual growth, awakening, remembering, soul purpose, life mission, divine inspiration, past lives and much more. Thanks for tuning in. So now let's dive in and talk spirituality. Today I like to talk to you about psychic readings. Unfortunately, due to some rather unethically working so-called psychics, psychic readings sometimes get a bad rep, so to speak. But an ethical psychic reading can be rather inspiring, empowering, and really helpful. As there's actually only the now, we can tap into the past, present and future timeline. By doing this, assisting others on their path. It works like this. An ethical psychic reader will be able to show and explain past and present events, but also dive right into the possible future. However, this future is not always set in stone due to us always having free will. So unless it's a karmic situation that is meant to happen, though a good and ethically working psychic will be able to see that and tell you as well. You always can still change your future. But even with karmic situations, you will still have free will with those as well, regarding how you react. Yes, a karmic situation will present itself. However, should you totally refuse to deal with that situation out of your own free will, that is still possible as well. Just with karmic situations, it works like this. You will have to deal with it at some point, but when you do this will be up to you. May it be in the near future, when it might come up, or later in this life, or in the next, or any future life. It's your choice, but avoiding it for good isn't possible with karmic situations, I'm afraid. And I can assure you, getting those situations out of the way as quickly and as soon as possible is a rather wise idea, believe me, as otherwise it will be following you around, maybe even for many lifetimes and causing havoc, so to speak. To avoid hassle, getting it out of the way is a clever choice, but it's your choice, of course. And for general non-karmic future events, it works like this. So, you don't like what's coming up for you? Great. Now you've got the facts and you can change your path and your actions accordingly to avoid that seen and possible future. This works for the general future, i.e. what is coming up in the near future or the next months or so, but also works perfectly for upcoming decisions. Say you are in the process of changing jobs and have two offers, and you are not sure which one would work out best for you. A psychic reading would show you exactly what you will experience in either of those two jobs. Or say you like to move house and you are torn between two places you saw. By finding out what your future would be like at either of those places regarding happiness, neighbors, finances, or whatever is applicable to that specific house or flat situation. You will have the full picture to make your informed decision. And this works for everything. So in a psychic reading, an ethically working psychic reader is not going to tell you what to do, but simply present to you what is coming up in the future at both jobs or both new addresses, referring to my given examples. So it comes down to knowledge is power, as when you know the facts, you can adjust and subsequently change your future accordingly and more to your liking. Interested in such an empowering psychic reading? Then contact me. On my webpage, you can read many testimonials as well. Also, in my readings, rather than stating on that and that day this will happen as you are walking and living your path, I rather always give you timescales and a wide scale of events during a period of time. So according to those events, you will know exactly when something happens. But due to your own free will, any forecasted date cannot be correctly given. Thus, in an ethical psychic reading, this won't be offered. As time here on Earth is not real, one's own behavior will create the event sooner or sometimes later, but not on one only specific date. Someone offering you something like that would be a major indication that that person is not an ethical reader. Also, if someone is not living what they talk about. It all comes down to a caring and ethical reading manner, and whether someone who claims to be on a spiritual ongoing path is actually also acting loving and spiritual as well, and this as a reader too, or not, i.e. whether the reader is walking the talk or not. I look forward to perhaps meeting you in a psychic reading soon as well. That's all for now. Get inspired. Thanks for listening till the end. You can always reach me on timefortalking.com with white light from here.